different sounds. Sounds that you'd normally hear on a building site. Yep, you heard right. That was the sound of a jackhammer. But it doesn't stop there. Chook can also do the sound of a saw, a hammer, a truck starting its ignition,
Why compare lyrebirds and beatboxers? By doing comparative studies, scientists can learn a lot about important components of vocal systems. By learning more about other types of vocal systems, scientists can then garner a greater understanding of how human vocal systems work. So what is language? Language is the process of giving meaning to something, specifically a sound. However, language must include grammar and have an organized structure. This is why rappers and beatboxers are considered to have language, but birds and other animals do not.
This one for the boys, the boomer system, top sound EC with cool system. When it come out of the car, when he plays the knot, got sets going dead like a CV nut, and here.
So how does language work? As previously mentioned, a lot of information about how language works in humans has come from studies of bird brains. It is speculated that the mechanism for language is very similar between birds and humans. In the bird brain, there are three distinct regions: an auditory region, a song motor pathway, and an anterior forebrain pathway. A similar pathway exists in the human brain with the addition of two key areas, the Broca's area and the Wernicke's area. The Broca's area controls skeletal muscle used in speech production. People suffering from Broca's aphasia search for words and have trouble speaking. They have difficulty producing the sentences that they wish to. The Wernicke's area is important in the production of logical thoughts, specifically associating words and their meanings. People with Wernicke's aphasia have comprehension of what is being said but have difficulty producing logical thoughts in response. A critical component of language acquisition is learning. In order for babies to begin to develop language, they must listen to the input from their parents and begin to interpret this. This is seen in the babbling stage of baby development when infants are trying to reproduce sounds they have heard previously. As the timeline shows, there are many different stages of learning, all of which are critical for language development. The importance and plasticity of critical period learning can be seen in the language development of bilingual children.
But eternal languages, and future generations of Europeans, I'm sorry Europeans, but we're going to have to be bilingual. We are going to have to be. And English speakers hate this. 2 languages in one head, no one can live at that speed.
So how does the brain treat bilingual language knowledge? We know that it becomes increasingly more difficult to assimilate other language the older a person is. Indeed, studies show that persons who acquire a new language after age 6 have difficulty obtaining fluency. Learning during the critical period is as important to a second language development as it is to primary language development. Brain imaging shows that multilingual people have greater density of gray matter in the language areas, in particular in the left parietal cortex. In fact, as working memory of vocabulary increases, bilingual persons have greater activation of the middle frontal gyrus, insula, superior temporal gyrus, and inferior parietal lobe. But does the brain store each language in its own special area, or are there two mixed? Research suggests that bilingual people activate slightly different areas of the brain when accessing the different languages. However, there is no unique compartment for each language. There's a great deal of overlap. Evidence suggests that bilingual persons will also access areas of the brain belonging to one language even when speaking or reading another.
Show me your Nase. Wo ist denn deine Nase? Gut. Und der Augen? Und der Mund? Der Ohren? Yeah. Where's your hair at? Where's your nose at? Where's your nose? That's right. Where's your eyes?
There is evidence that at around 8 to 10 months of age, babies begin to lose their ability to differentiate between sounds of other languages. This is not true of babies raised in a bilingual environment. They retain their ability to be flexible, in effect delaying the crystallization of some aspects of language and maintaining their brain's plasticity. This is a likely contributor to the delayed speech of bilingual children. They tend to be behind their peers in language skills, but catch up very quickly. In conclusion, bilingualism is another example of the brain's superior functioning ability. The brain is able to store and use a great amount of information while maintaining a great deal of plasticity. With advances in technology, everything has gone global, thus the ability to acquire and utilize a second language is becoming even more vital. Understanding the process by which language is acquired can only expedite this process.
Somebody please tell the Nicki Minaj, Medusa, Cat Coosa, boy, you got my